Hey babes, welcome back to my channel. Today is really exciting because we have our first interview guest, Miss Joyce Ann Washington. She is a career and personal development coach from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and she's here today to share her backstory on how she got started and how you can too. Miss Washington, I'm so excited to have you today.
Hi Erin, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to do this interview.
Alright, so let's begin with how you got started. What was the catalyst that made you take the plunge into the industry of life coaching? Where were you in your life and where were you financially?
Okay, so my senior year in high school, I decided that I wanted to start a nonprofit for African American youth to really help empower them, to empower themselves and find their passion and then take actionable steps towards getting there. So I went to school planning to be a therapist so that I could get money together for the nonprofit because I just wanted to gain some skills on how to work with different people, and I didn't think that I was gonna graduate from high school and then know how to start a nonprofit. But after further consideration, I realized that therapy was not something that I really wanted to do. There was a lot of talking about feelings, but not enough action, and there was a lot of schooling that went behind it. So that wasn't something that I was really interested in going into. Because of that, I started to shift my desires a little bit. So instead of doing therapy, I thought that I'd do social work. My junior year of college, I decided that I was going to intern with a high school social worker. I did get to meet a lot of youth, and I got to put some of my skills of what I've learned in my psychology classes into action, like how to talk to youth and how to really listen to them and help them really deal with their emotions. But it was really emotionally draining. Sometimes the youth really didn't want to connect with you, and I like the connection. I like that one-on-one connection with the people that I'm working with. Now fast forward to my senior year of college, and I don't want to be a therapist, I don't want to be a social worker, and I don't know what job that I want to do. Again, I want to start this nonprofit, but I don't know what steps to take to get there. I decided to go to grad school. I applied just anywhere that said youth work, and I got accepted to grad school, but I really didn't feel like that was the path for me. Not that I don't like education, I think it's a beautiful thing, but I just don't like the formal sitting in the class, having someone talk at you for an hour and then going off and doing whatever. That was just not something that aligned with how I learned. Push come to shove, I reached out to a mentor of mine that I had met during college. He told me about this program, nonprofit management, and because he knew that I was interested in starting my own nonprofit. But I was going to have to move to Minnesota for 10 months just to be a part of the program, which was fine for me because I didn't know what else I was going to do. I didn't want to go to grad school, and I didn't want to stay in my hometown. So I packed all of my stuff up, and I was getting ready to move to Minnesota. But I was scammed out of $1,200 in a housing scam because I was really stressed out on trying to find a home. Now I only have $250, and I do not have a space to stay. It's a week or so before I have to move to Minnesota. So I reached out to my mentor again. He helped me find a space that I could go to, and I had to take out a lot of credit just so that I could be able to move to Minnesota. Because I was scammed out of that money, and this is a AmeriCorps program, and if you don't know about AmeriCorps, you do not get paid a lot of money to be a part of AmeriCorps. It's more of an experience-based sort of nonprofit. I had to have part-time jobs throughout that 10-month program. After the 10-month program is over with the AmeriCorps, I have to figure out what I'm going to do now. So I look for another AmeriCorps program for the summer just so I can buy some time to really figure out what it is that I want to do while I'm trying to build out this nonprofit. I ended up working for a summer camp over the summer, just working with youth. It was nothing major. It just wasn't working for me. So I started to look for a full-time job doing program coordination and things like that, event coordinating, because that's what I did in my previous AmeriCorps program, and I really enjoyed planning out events and doing workforce readiness things. I ended up landing a job which was paying me $15 an hour, and I could leave the last program that I was in, the summer program, because it was basically already over, and I could quit my retail job. I loved my coworkers. I loved the creativity that I could have in the job, but I had to travel from different school to different school to do the after school programming. That was putting a dent in my pockets. I do not have a car, so I would have to take Ubers and Lyfts. And then every 2 weeks, my paycheck would be like $200 would be taken out of my paycheck. Not only did we have to do direct service with youth work, but there was a high turnover rate, so there was always like someone leaving, and then I ended up having to do the job of 2 people, and I was the only full-time person in the youth worker position. Everyone else was part-time. The youth just being wild and crazy, and like me not being able to get any of the work done that we were planning on doing, and just the pay was just like making me feel really like trapped and really overwhelmed, really unhappy. There was like a policy put in place which would remove the flexibility that I had in my schedule, and I was just like over it. I was really unhappy at that point, and I was just like emotionally drained and just tired, to the point that I was like in the bathroom at my job crying my eyes out, and I would spend multiple days and multiple weeks just crying and being unhappy with my job. So I took a week off because it was my birthday, and I was like planning my escape to leave. I wanted to move to Atlanta, so I went to Atlanta for my birthday for a week. Things didn't really work out. I wasn't able to find a job there. I wasn't able to find a house there. My 2 weeks notice was already put in, so I decided that I would just go back home and focus on building out my nonprofit.
Tell us the story of your first legit client. How did you find them, and what do you attribute as the reason why they chose to work with you?
So how I found them, I'm on this website called Thumbtack, and basically she wanted to work with me because she was sort of feeling lost in her career. She had been working with the company for about 10 years or so, and she was promoted a couple of times, but after about 5 years ago, she didn't get any more promotions, and she was just kind of stuck in her position. She also didn't like how toxic the work environment was, and so she just wanted to figure out like what her next steps were and what her skills were to like help her move forward to creating the life that she really desired. Basically what we did in our 12-week program was I worked closely with her to like really figure out what it was that she wanted to do with her future. Like, what are some things that excite you? What are some things that like drive you and like motivate you and get you excited and ready to like wake up and go to work every day? And after we figured out what those things were, we talked about some blockages that she may have for accomplishing any of those desires. And one of the things that was a blockage for her is that she didn't exactly know where her skill set lied. And then we moved into creating like an action plan. So one of the things that she wanted to do was she wanted to create a resume, what she did in her job, what kind of skills she gained over her time working at that job, being able to sell herself in order to get to the job that she really desired. After we did her resume, we started working on finding different sorts of jobs that she was interested in. After the 12-week program, she actually reached back out to me to tell me that she was able to get into one of the jobs that she had applied for because she worked really hard on building out her confidence. She had figured out what it was that she exactly wanted, and then she decided that she was going to put forth the action to getting that desire. So that was one of my first clients.
Okay. What are the first 5 steps that you took to make this career your reality?
So what I decided to do was do some research on how I could help people on that one-on-one basis, but there was like action behind me getting to help them, and there was not a lot of schooling. So I came across life coaching, which is basically it's counseling and it's like mentoring, and it's like just giving advice to the clients to really help them figure out what it is that they are desiring and what it is that they want to accomplish. I decided that life coaching was just a better fit for me. I ended up doing some research and finding a program that I could get my life coaching certification for, because I do think that having those sorts of certifications in place are important, and then also having the skills in place are important. I'm going to kind of explain this through my framework that I teach or that I coach in my coaching program, and it's called Dream and Action Steps. There are 4 steps in Dream and Action Steps. There is dream, deciding like what your passion is, believe that you can get it what you want. And if you do not believe it, figuring out what sort of negative blockages you may have that's holding you back. Work hard, actually creating an action plan towards getting to what you want to accomplish. And then lastly, it is be happy, executing your goal, and then reflecting on, okay, like, did I enjoy this? What did I like about this? Where could I change some things? Do I actually want this goal? Things like that. First step is dream, so figuring out what I wanted. So like I said, I wanted to be a life coach. Therapy wasn't working, social work wasn't working, so my desire was then to become a life coach. Believe, I had to really work on my self-confidence. So I had to really learn how to talk to people one-on-one and how to be of service to them, and like get out of my own head of negative self-beliefs that I had, that I wasn't good enough, or that I don't know what I'm talking about, or I don't have enough experience. Whatever negative beliefs that I had going on through my mind, I had to remove those negative beliefs in order to get to then the work hard, aka take action. I had to find my place that I wanted to get my life coaching certification. 2, I had to start building my package programs on what it was that I wanted to base my program, my coaching programs off of. Come up with the pricing. I had to get my license, my business license and things like that. 3, I had to actually start marketing myself for my business. Once I got all of those action steps in play, I was able to create my coaching services, create my business. Last is be happy. When I was first starting out, it was really hard to figure out how I was going to get my first clients. I posted on a bunch of websites and things like that. So I had to really focus on, all right, what is it that I want to accomplish here? What is it that my niche is? How do I want to package myself? How do I want to sell my coaching services? What exactly am I promising the clients that I'm wanting to work with, who I want to work with? So instead of just generically being just a random life coach, really figuring out what my niche was so that I could be able to market myself properly. Yep. So those were my 5 steps towards getting to my career.
And now that we have the 5 steps, is there anything that you would say was a hurdle to getting started that someone in your field may want to avoid?
One of the things I would say when you're first getting started to becoming a life coach, or any business in general, it is to really work on whatever beliefs that you have about yourself. When I was first starting out, I was really nervous about my pricing because I was I'm new. How am I going to get any clients if I'm charging this certain amount of money? And people don't know me, whatever. Whatever negative beliefs that you have, that is important for you to really delve deep into what those are so that you can overcome those to start creating actionable steps towards moving past those negative self-talks. Knowing how to market yourself, that is a struggle for a lot of coaches because they don't exactly know who their target market is and they don't know their niche. So figuring out what your niche is very important because it'll help you be able to brand yourself and narrow down who it is that you're helping. So you're just not out here trying to help everybody. You can really hone in on working on your craft and giving more quality services. Be unique to your to who you are. Don't try to change or be somebody else, because if you're trying to be someone else, it's just not going to work out because you won't be authentic. And when you're not authentic to yourself, everything is all weird and it's uncomfortable and you don't get the best quality because you don't feel comfortable in what you're doing because you're not being yourself. Have your business niche be authentic to who you are. Have your framework be authentic to who you are. Have your pricing be authentic to who you are. Because if all that stuff is not in place, then you're going to feel like a fraud every day, and that's just not going to feel good for you. Having a business that you're not being yourself in. You can look online, you can take some tips from other people, but really look for what is true to yourself and what that will look like. Don't try to sell coaching. People are not going to be trying to buy coaching. If you want to be a life coach, I'd advise you to sell what someone wants to buy. So for instance, if someone is trying to lose weight and you're a fitness coach, sell the idea that you're going to help them lose weight. People want results. They don't really care about the coaching part of it. They just want the results. For me, it is helping people figure out what it is that they want in life and then taking actionable steps towards getting there.
Okay, what sets you apart from others as a life coach?
I think it's because I am authentic to myself. I'm a very creative person, and I like to find different fun ways to work with my clients. So not only do I want to do one-on-one coaching, which I really enjoy, I also am an author, so just writing books and things like that can help them figure out what it is that they're passionate about and create their own action plans after coaching services is done. I like planning events. I like doing little challenges. So working on building out this self-love challenge right now for some of my clients to be a part of, and really learning how to feel good about themselves and removing any negative blockages that they may have. I want to have a bunch of other different activities and things like that can keep my clients engaged after they're done with the one-on-one coaching program.
Okay, for future clientele, how can we book a session with you?
So you can email me at joyandlifecoachingservices@gmail.com. I am offering 30-minute free coaching calls so that we can just really get to know each other and see if coaching is really something for you. Yes. So that's how you can reach out to me.
Okay, that was Ms. Joyce Ann Washington. Don't forget to check out her Facebook group at Dream Academy and follow her on Instagram at joyinlife_coaching.
All right, thank you again, Erin. I had so much fun doing this interview with you.
Thank you for doing this interview. I'm really excited to have you.
Don't forget to check out the Dream Academy Facebook support group if you are looking for an accountability partner to help you get your life on track, and visit the Joy in Life Coaching website for a free 30-minute consultation to help you start reaching your goals today. If you want to see a text version of this interview, it'll be on the blog at erinlodge.com. If you enjoyed this video version, let the YouTube algorithm know by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. Hope to see you in the comment section. Bye, babes.